Assalamualaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So in our today's lesson, we will discuss about the applications of Dalton's law of partial pressure. So before the start of the applications of the Dalton's law, you guys must know that what was the Dalton's law. So the Dalton proposed the law. He just said that the total pressure exerted by the mixture of the gases is equal to the sum of the partial pressure of all the gases. For example, we have three gases, P1, P2, and P3. This is their partial pressure, and their sum is equal to the total pressure of all the gases. This is a simple Dalton's law. Now, this law also applicable to different situations in our daily life. The first one application we have, it is known as the aqueous tension. The second, its application we have in our life, it is to the process of respiration. Process of respiration is the intake of oxygen gas and the carbon dioxide moves out from the body of living organisms. And the third one we have its applications at higher altitudes, and the fourth one its application we have in the deep sea as the sea divers take cylinders, or simple we can say that gas cylinders. So how the partial pressure works over there, we will discuss it one by one in detail. So the first one thing we have, it is the aqueous tension. Basically you guys must know that what does mean by the aqueous tension. So basically during the working in laboratory, when we are collecting the gases that are present over water, these gases sometimes also gathered the water vapors along with them. So now these gases just become moist gases. When these gases just become moist, now if we are going to calculate the total partial pressure of the moist gas, it must be the sum of the partial pressure of the dry gas and the partial pressure of the water vapors. And this partial pressure that has been exerted by the water vapors, it is known as the aqueous tension, or the pressure, simple partial pressure exerted by the water vapors. It is known as the simple aqueous tension. And we can also calculate the aqueous tension by subtracting the total pressure of moist gas and the pressure exerted by the dry gas. So this is the simple sum of these two pressures. Next, we have the second application. It is in the process of respiration. So before discussing that, you guys must know that what does mean by the respiration. Basically, our cells that are continuously using oxygen and they are producing carbon dioxide. So here, oxygen it absorbing and the carbon dioxide gas is moving out. So both these gases move in and out of the lungs through the membranes, and these membranes are known as alveoli, and the tiny air sacs that are present in the ends of the airway of the lungs. So how these gases move in and out, basically the partial pressure of oxygen gas in our lungs, it is 116 torr. This pressure is in lungs, and the oxygen gas, its partial pressure in the atmosphere is 159 torr. It is in atmosphere. So due to this difference in the partial pressure, the oxygen gas moves in body. On the other hand, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in body, it is high, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide outside, it is less. So that's why it moves out from the body as compared to the inside. So let's have an example. here we have the partial pressure of oxygen gas that is 100 and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 40. And the blood is oxygenated, that is having high concentration of oxygen. On the other hand, it is moving into the tissue cells. Next, we have the partial pressure of oxygen gas is 40 and the carbon dioxide is 46. So that's why here the carbon dioxide is moving out and the oxygen gas is moving in. It is in deoxygenated blood. So the main purpose of the lungs or the alveoli, it is just to clean the blood or to make it oxygenated by the addition of the oxygen. And in the atmosphere, the pressure of the oxygen is almost 159 to 160 and the pressure of carbon dioxide it is zero point 0.3. So that's why carbon dioxide moves out from the body and oxygen moves in the body of the human beings. Next, the third one application is we have it is at higher altitude. As when we move at higher altitude, we just see that from the sea level moving out, in the red dots we have the oxygen gas and the blue dots we have nitrogen gas. We are moving out upward or at high altitude. We just see that the atmospheric pressure reduces or the partial pressure of the oxygen also reduces or less down. For this purpose, when we are moving high at higher altitude, we just feel or the pilots feel uncomfortable in the breathing because the partial pressure of oxygen is unpressurized or it reduces to the limit as compared to the 159 torr, and that pressure is at the sea levels and at a higher altitude it is less. For example, here we have a barometric pressure in millimeter mercury along x-axis, and this is the height or the high altitude. As we just see that we are moving upward, the pressure reduces from 800 to 300 as we just reach the top of any mountain. So this is just due to the difference in partial pressure of the gases. Next we have its application in deep sea. The divers just bring the cylinders and these cylinders contain the mixture of gases and this mixture of gases contain two types of gases in which the oxygen it is mixed with inert gas that is helium and they just adjust the partial pressure of the oxygen gas according to the requirements. Actually, when we move in the sea, after every 100 feet, the pressure is almost 3 atmospheric pressure, but at sea level, the pressure is 1 atm. So the pressure increases. As the pressure increases from the normal, so the divers cannot be able to breathe in the depth of the sea. Moreover, the pressure of nitrogen also increases in the depth of the sea and it started to diffuse into the blood. So, to avoid this inconvenience, the divers just keep the cylinders with themselves and in turn they can breathe normal under the sea. So this is all about the applications of the partial pressure of Dalton's law. I hope you guys understand. In the next, we will discuss about the fourth state of the matter, which is known as the plasma state. For that time, you guys have a good day and keep learning.